back. If you're new here, my name is Candace and I'm a fiber artist. I do beading, crochet, rug making, weaving, all kinds of different stuff, embroidery. Basically anything that brings me joy or I find interesting, I will try out. So this channel is basically anything I find interesting or inspiring. It's kind of like a just documentation of like my art practice and yeah, just things I enjoy. So I am just literally here to have a good time. And a catalyst for why this channel exists, for those of you who are new, was just that my contract came to a close at the animation studio that I was working at. And basically, how that works for people who are not in that field is most people work on contracts, and then when they are over, usually generally you either take a break or there'll be another contract already lined up for you. In this case, they did not have enough work for everyone, so I think generally most people um, have been out of work at least, or like having to to hunt a lot more than usual. I've never seen it be this bad before. I worked in animation and motion design and that kind of thing for the last 13 years, and I will say, and I like was a person who was set to graduate, slated to graduate in like 2008, which I didn't end up doing because I was like, I cannot go into the job market right now, so I did like grad school. But yeah, it's just like more so than what I've experienced previously. And I guess, 13 years is not that long when you talk about a career. But it's been a very hard time for people finding work. So a little update is that I did find a retail position at a craft store, which I am really excited for. I think it's going to be very fun to get to meet more people in the community and learn a lot. I am very excited because everyone on staff is like a artsy crafty person. So I'm sure I'm going to learn tons. And it came at just like the perfect moment for me because my unemployment is running out. So I am extremely grateful. I have been extremely lucky. I would say in life, I have always felt like I have had extraordinarily good luck. Um, I always have felt like the universe has taken care of me in ways I didn't necessarily expect. So I feel really good about this job, going to make friends and learn lots. And I think I'm excited for it in that way. In other ways, like I said, I have been working remotely previously, and I haven't worked in like a customer service based job like on the regular for like 13 years. So I am a little like, oh, it's going to take some getting used to. But like overall, extremely grateful for that opportunity. And I just want to take a moment to say to anyone who is job hunting right now, and particularly for people who potentially like are job hunting and unable to find a job in like their chosen career. I think it can be a tough pill to swallow when you have worked so hard, gone to school. I went into student loan debt to be able to pursue animation, and to now like not be able to find work in the chosen career and to have to take a job that's outside of that can be a little tough, I think, for a lot of us. And even though I am excited about this opportunity, like there is probably a little bit of me that is sad that I couldn't find another job in animation, at least for the time being. And it's not that I think I'll never work in animation again. It's just that we just don't know what's going to be around the corner. There's a lot of things like happening all at once and a lot of instability, and the industry is always changing. Like it changed even from when I was in school. Like I taught an animation production class at a community college, and it was hard even at that point to give like real information to like students who are about to go into the job market because it's like I'm struggling too. And like I remember when I was in that position and my teachers, like I went to school in San Francisco, so I had teachers who had worked at ILM and like big studios like that, and then they would tell me is like, oh yeah, I just like happened upon it. I just knew someone who was like, you come work here or something like that. And I'm like, that is so unrelatable to what the industry was like when I was trying to get into it. Like people just don't happen upon it anymore. Like people are extremely trained when they come in. So I can remember that being frustrated, but then I found myself in that teacher's position where it's like I literally don't what do I tell a student going into the workforce right now when I know that I have really inconsistent work? So I think it's just like all in all, like it's just difficult across the board for a lot of people. And if you're in the position where you worked really hard to get into a career and like it's just not working out for the time being, like there is no shame in just getting a job for survival. I know that, I had some shame around that when I first graduated, just because I think there was an expectation that I probably wouldn't be able to get into a tough industry to enter. And yeah, I just want to say to anybody who's feeling like that, like the important thing is that we survive this. The important thing is that we keep our spirits up and keep being able to do things that bring us joy and survive in this world. So do that in whatever way you have to do it. I know it's a tough time, and I'm sorry that you're going through this. Like we're all basically going through this together. It is really hard to see, like, all my friends are artists. It's really hard to see us as a community have so much instability. Like it's really hard to look around and see that everyone is struggling at the same time. So I just, want to say, like, I care about you and keep your chin up. And there is no shame in just taking a job for survival. Like, I think sometimes people can feel a little bit of an ego about having to take a lower paid job or a job you didn't necessarily want just to survive. But I think it's just more important that we survive. I think it's really important, and I'm going to assume you're a creative person if you're watching videos like this. I really think it's important for us as creative people to keep making work. I feel like I have been taken care of by art in so many ways that I never expected. And I've mentioned before that I have always felt like I have extraordinary luck when it comes to like just these moments where I had something that I was interested in, I pursued it, and then it turned into an opportunity down the road. And I'm not saying that that's solely just luck. That's obviously me going out and, pursuing things that I'm interested in. But I guess my point is like you can't always possibly understand like how that's going to come back around to you at some point. So just always remember that like anything you find interesting or you're passionate about, pursue and make that like vocally known that that's something you're interested in. Because part of how I got a job at this craft store was the fact that I have a background in embroidery. So, and like I have multiple at this point I've been job hunting for months and I have multiple jobs. It's just that none of them are consistent enough or make enough money for me to survive off solely, but they are all related to the fact that I do art and that I specifically am able to translate my art practice into teaching or giving tours or being able to do customer service at a craft store, right? Like they are all relating back to my interests because I'm just trying to like keep those alive and like it's taking care of me mentally. Like I would say the two things that have gotten me this far in this world are my friends and my art practice. So just if you're struggling out there, I really encourage you to keep making work, to not lose sight of the things that actually bring you joy and interest. Like take the jobs you have to take, survive the ways you have to survive. Like that is all super valid, but just for yourself, yeah, don't stop making work. The world is really hard right now. I think a lot of people like have a hard time staying like feeling creative when they're watching so much terrible stuff happen. But I think it is really important for all of us to keep making stuff. And yeah, I don't think the world gets better by us shutting down, right? So yeah, that's my that's my spiel, that's my thoughts, I guess, right now. Little update on the hood. So I have taken apart that necklace and I have started stitching on the charms. I think that if I had thought about doing this beforehand, I might have tried to knit the beads on, but because I didn't think about it till afterwards, I am stitching these on. And then I also came across some other beads I just happened to have, that I thought would look cute with this. So I have these pearls, and then I also have some different packets of these crystal beads, Swarovski. I've had these for years. My mom at the beginning of the pandemic, she, for her job, goes to auctions a lot. And she happened to get like about 5 pounds in like a lot of random beads. So she sent me those, and I spent the beginning of the pandemic organizing all these beads. But these ones I've hung on to because they're quite beautiful, but I was like not sure what project I'd need them for. So I'm finally using them now. And I think the color combo is really nice with the pink. And it definitely gives like mermaid vibes. I am going to continue working on this. Take you along for that. And yeah, I think it's going to be really cute. I will link the artist that I watched their video below, but I saw this week an artist who was making basically this like different like decorative pieces using Mod Podge and tissue paper, and it almost looks like kind of like a rice paper effect. So I just thought it would be fun to kind of try it out. And we have cherry blossoms all around where we live that are falling from the trees right now. So I just collected up a bunch of those and was pressing those flowers. But it basically works by putting down, I put down first baking sheet, and then do a layer of Mod Podge, then tissue paper, then another layer. And basically, with every new layer that you put a little bit more Mod Podge. Um, and when it dries, it makes everything like pretty see-through, which is a really cool effect. Um, and yeah, kind of fun. If anybody has any tips, I haven't done a lot of like flower pressing in my time, and these did brown, so I don't know if there's like things you can do to kind of help with that. If there is a way to kind of keep a little bit more of the original color. I also have this box of mint tea that is quite old, and I only have a little bit left, so I did sprinkle some of that on there, which honestly did make the paper smell quite nice, at least for a little while. Um, yeah, and then I just did a few more layers of tissue paper. And at the end, you put one more like large layer on, and you do want to do, if you were going to do this at home, you do want to put one more layer of Mod Podge on top of that, just because it's a little cloudy if you don't. So just to get that sort of see-through effect, it's a little nicer. And then here you can see the effect of what it looks like with light behind it after it's already dried. You just basically peel it off of the baking sheet. And I cut these into little triangles, and I wanted to do like a little sculpture with them. So I just like playing around. I had no idea or design of what I wanted to do. I just started gluing them together, like a little bit of hot glue. So that's was just like a fun little project I did this week, just as an exercise. But it's been really beautiful out this week, and the sky has been so blue. So I did decide that I wanted to go for a skate around the seawall. For those of you who have visited Vancouver before, I think this is like a pretty popular destination for a lot of people. It's basically like a stretch of sidewalk that goes all along the coast of the park and all along a lot of Vancouver. But it's really beautiful. This was a really nice day. Um, I love skating the seawall. I've also biked and walked it before. But I am a roller skater and roller blader, so I do enjoy uh, doing that if it's not a wet day. 'Cause, yeah. So yeah, really really nice and peaceful time. I did also treat myself to a little gelato afterwards because it was a lot of skating. So I also did get this box, I think months ago actually, and there's a liquor store that always has a bunch of wine and stuff that is uh I think shipped in these boxes, and I found out that if you ask nicely, they will often just give you a bunch of wooden boxes. So because this one had a lot of stickers on it, I couldn't quite like fully get some of the stickers off, so I decided to paint it. And my idea for this was just essentially that it would be like a fun little planter box for we have a small patio space or like balcony space, I should say. And because it's not going to be directly in the rain, I decided to give it a little nicer of a paint job than normal. And yeah, I had no like specific ideas on or like specific things I wanted to do other than just like flowers and like fruits and vegetables on this. So, yeah, I was going for more, I guess, kind of like pop, like bold colors, more patterny than anything else. But yeah, I had fun doing it. I'm not like the most amazing painter ever. Um, but it's good practice to just have like a little project that like it was nice to be able to do this outside too and just be in the yard and um just put on music or podcasts and just paint for a while. I haven't done that in a really long time, so it was pretty worth it. Um yeah, I think it turned out cute in the end. I'm honestly debating whether I'm gonna paint the back of the box as well, the part that doesn't face towards me on our balcony because yeah, it takes a while to paint and I really want to start planting in it. I get so impatient sometimes with these little fun projects. My plan is to plant some sweet peas in this and hopefully get like a nice vine of flowers and then peas. And then it's high enough up that the rats cannot get them. Okay, so I realized that I said a few videos ago I'm working on not buying more plants or seeds, but I just so happened to see this one at the store and it looks really similar to one that my partner picked out last year that we both really loved and really did well in our sort of small garden in the front. And this one is just like, look how beautiful and deep a purple color. Like, I just thought these would be kind of nice to fill in the garden a little bit while we're still waiting for a lot of stuff to sprout. And they were pretty inexpensive. So, yeah, I gave into temptation this time. As I close this video out, I'll take you for a little walk in the park with me. There were ducks and turtles out. Everything is starting to get quite like much warmer here now, and it was actually an unseasonably warm day this day. Like I brought a jacket that I took off. I was like, it feels so good to be in the sun and just seeing all the spring flowers and everything coming back to life is just I don't know. It cured seasonal depression for sure. Like I feel much better now, even though I do love, cozy winter times. Like it does. I can, only do so much of that, specifically if there's no like snow. We did not get any real snow this year, so it was just rainy and gross out and cold. So it's just so refreshing now. But I hope you all have a great rest of your week. I appreciate you joining me, and thank you so much. Have a great one.